Hello, Prince of Picks. How you doing?
What's up, my brother? How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm so happy we're finally doing this. Sorry I couldn't get the podcast started in time, but you know what? We're doing it.
That's right. We're doing it live. It's okay. It's better late than never.
Yeah, we got an interesting one. Let's start in the NFL just because it was the biggest news of the weekend. What what a treat
Uh,
we had! 4 games, half of them going into
uh,
overtime.
yeah. I mean, you know what? These playoffs have been ridiculous, outside of the 49ers blowout, right? The other games, even last weekend, going back to last weekend too, right? Every game has been down to the wire. As a Bears fan here in Chicago, I'm still licking my wounds from last night. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's been a pretty solemn morning for me, but I guess it's time to kind of recollect on the magical season that we did have, and I guess start getting ready for training camp and look into the scouting department and get ready for next season. So, I mean, we won a lot of games we shouldn't have won. So, glass half full for me. And we definitely overachieved expectations. I know we overachieved your expectations, specifically. So, uh, I'm looking forward to that Dallas Cowboys jersey that you should be you should be
Yes,
posting
yes, we
soon.
had a showdown at the beginning of the season. Um, I had the Bears not to make the playoffs. Prince Pigs had them to make the playoffs, and I clearly lost that one. Listen, they had the most comeback wins of any
Yeah.
team in the NFL this
Well,
year.
Well,
Um,
I mean, and to your point, I mean, look, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit, it felt like a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? I mean, the way we were winning these games, I mean, it just doesn't happen. I mean, you could say, well, that's credit to them, right, for finding ways to win these close games, but I don't know, man. It could go either way for me, but for me, that's in the past, right? That's that was last season already. So we still got a few more games to go in the NFL, but for me, in terms of a Bears fan, I'm gotta look forward to next season. So we'll see. Maybe we can use this as some sort of a building block for next season. But yeah, man. To your point, though, hell of a playoff so far, and excited to see what the next 3 games bring us here.
yeah, yeah. By the way, Seattle's Saturday Slaughter is what I termed Saturday night's game.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what it was from start to finish. I mean, the 49ers, I mean, shout out to them for making it this far, right? With all the injuries they had, right? Shout out to Kyle Shanahan. I mean, you talk about overachieving. I mean, that team has just been depleted. And I'm friends with the 49ers fan, and I'm asking, I'm like, what is it with the 49ers and injuries? Seems like every single season, this team is just decimated with injuries. Like, is it their training staff? Is it their physical therapy staff? Like, what is it with them that they're always injured every single year? Like key players are constantly, out of the lineup for them. So it's unfortunate for them. I think as a fully healthy roster, they're one of the deepest rosters in the league. But I mean, when you're without your top 2, 3 tight ends, I mean, you're down to your fourth string lineman. I mean, you can only do so much, right? So
Yeah, you really need. Yeah,
Seattle was just a buzzsaw for them. I mean, Seattle defensively, just on another level. And I think the Super Bowl, if we were to project here a little bit, I think it might be one of the lower scoring Super Bowls, to be honest with you, because you look at the AFC, right? You go Denver and New England, two of the top defenses in the league, right? And now you look on the other side here with the Rams and Seattle. I don't really rate Rams defensively, but Seattle absolutely. So you got a 3 and 4 chance, right, of the Super Bowl being a very defensive game. So just kind of a projection here by me. I would look at seeing I wonder what the total is going to be, but I would expect it to be maybe one of the lower totals, just because of how
yeah,
defensive
yeah.
these teams are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're looking at the total for the Rams Seattle game. It's 48.5. It opened at 48.5. I kind of wanted to jump on the under there right away.
Hmm.
That was kind of crazy. But you know what? Let's get into two of my best picks right now, looking ahead into the NFL as we're here anyway.
Sure.
Um, I'm going to take a teaser here. Patriots -2.5 and the Seahawks +7.5. I got this at -132 last night on DK. Think you can still find this at FanDuel and a few other spots, but like we said, you know what I mean? Like we just saw the Rams a little bit shaky, right? Not
Hmm.
sure if I trust them so much, but we did see Seattle play absolute incredible lockdown defense. So even if Seattle loses the game, which I honestly think that they win, they're going to keep this at least within a touchdown. And then the Patriots defense is also like I think they're ranked second in DVOA in defensive advanced metrics. I don't think that Stidham is going to be able to do anything against them, and I'm also going to be taking Stidham for an interception once the line comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing you can say about Stidham is he's been around the league for a while, right? So he is, somewhat of a veteran. So it's not like I'm throwing somebody brand new into the mix here, but there's a reason he hasn't. I think the stat was he hasn't thrown a pass since 2023. I think I heard that somewhere. I don't know if that's true or
Yep.
not, but if that is, I mean, there's a reason for that, right? So going up against the New England, that New England defense, I mean, Vrabel's got those guys flying all around the field. And so I think Denver's in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Obviously, this coming weekend, and then of course with the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams, to your point, I mean, they even struggled with Carolina last week. So you got them struggling with Carolina last week. You got them struggling with the Bears, which say what you want about the Bears, but I mean, let's be honest. This is an overachieving team, and the Rams coming into this one should have been the far superior roster. Should have really handled the game. I get it; it was cold, but I mean, come on, that just you look at the personnel on the Rams. It's just much better. So the Rams have not really come out of the gates like you thought they would have. Now it is a divisional game, so it's tough, right? Third time they've seen each other. So both teams very familiar with each other. So it could go either way, but yeah, it's gonna be it's a tough one for me to call. I'll put it that way. Obviously, I feel much more comfortable with the AFC side. I think most people would agree with that. Right. So I don't think I'm going out on a limb there, but yeah, but I love that play. That's a great parlay. I'll definitely be telling that one.
Yeah, and then the other play I have is really Patriots -4.5. I got this on FanDuel on an alt line -122 because, I don't know how Denver is going to compete within a touchdown here. I just don't see it.
Right,
And
right,
honestly, I'm
right.
kind of waiting for the line for Seattle. I expect that to actually go near to a pick 'em by closing time. So if that comes to a pick 'em, I'm also going to just pick Seattle side here. I do think that they are the best team in the NFL this season. But let's move on
Yeah.
to other football, college football playoffs. We got Miami tonight at home versus Indiana. This is going to be an absolute banger of a game. I don't know why I said that. I don't think I've ever said that in my entire life.
It applies, though. It
It
applies. It
does. It
applies.
does. This is like the ultimate Cinderella story for Indiana. They can go 16 and any thoughts on this game? Any looks? Any picks?
So I'll be fully transparent. I haven't really dug into college football this season. So anything that I'm saying is just going to be kind of just based on what I've heard, what I've kind of seen here and there, and just my overall thoughts on just kind of both the heritage, I would say, of both teams. Indiana, I mean, wow, talk about coming out of nowhere, right? I mean, I know they've been a story for quite a while, but this team is just a hell of a job for NIL and the scouting department there. What an incredible story for them to have to not only be the number one team in the nation, but to have a shot at winning it all. But Miami, the U, right? All the heritage, the pageantry around the Hurricanes. Man, for me, I grew up kind of watching the Hurricanes. I grew up, during watching during the 2000s when they were in their heyday and everything. So, yeah, I gotta go with Miami here. I think it's what is it 10.5 right now? Was the last time I checked. I
No
think the spread
way.
was.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
it's shifted.
I thought. I mean, unless I dreamt it. It's possible I dreamt it. But let me take a double check here real quick. But in any case, I would lean towards. Miami here, but I'll be honest, I'm probably not the best one. Now it's down to 8.5. I'm pretty sure it was 10.5 earlier, but maybe it wasn't. But in any case, it's 8.5 now over on DK. So, getting a little bit over a touchdown value here. I don't know. I mean, Indiana hasn't been in this position as a school before, so not in football anyway. So we'll see. But I'm definitely going to be tuned in very closely
If
tonight.
the line gets to 10.5, I think I have to take that 10.5. But my
Yeah.
two look ahead plays. Now, one of them was with a boost, which I don't give out officially, but I'm going to give it out here just as maybe you can use them as teaser legs. I took Indiana first half money line and the full game money line at -149 with a 30% boost on DK. I think
Mm.
that's a solid line. I don't know how much Miami's going to actually be able to score in this excellent defense. But
Yeah.
I do think that Indiana is going to be able to do just enough to kind of take away this game. And then the other play I played at normal regular prices, Indiana money line and the total over 42.5. I think that if you're looking at Miami to be competitive, they're going to have to score a minimum of 15 to 18 points. And if they're scoring 15 to 18 points, I think Indiana can match them. Give me a total over 42.5. I think that this thing catches. This is minus 125 over on MGM. Also took it late last night. But yeah, listen, if Miami goes down and I can get a 2 touchdown on the spread, I'm going to have to hedge my bets on that one. But let's keep it moving. Let's go to the NBA. There were some crazy storylines going into the weekend and coming out of the weekend. I'm in Philadelphia. I'm a New York fan, but everybody's clamoring. You got problems in the NFL, you got problems in the NHL, and you got problems in the NBA. Tell me what's happening with the 76ers here.
Yeah, 76ers, it seems like Groundhog Day with them, right? Every season, over the last, 3, 4 seasons, I would say, seems to be the same thing. Is Embiid playing? I mean, that's always the question. Is he playing? Is he not playing? And then ever since they got Paul George, it's the same thing with him. Is Paul George playing? Is he not playing? Right? And so much kind of rides on those two, whether they play or not, in terms of how the line is given out, what the spread is, what the total is, all those metrics, it has an impact on whether those two play. So it's really tough, just as from my personal opinion, betting Sixers games, because you never know if those two are playing until maybe an hour or two before tip off. And so you're sitting here, you're trying to project, guys that make last minute decisions on whether or not they're going to play. So they're kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. Now I will say Tyrese Maxey has taken it to an absolute another level here. Perennial all-star, future all-star, I would say, for sure. I mean, he has just taken his game. He has taken control of this team, and he's really been balling out this whole season. So if you're looking at one bright spot, I would say him and, of course, VJ Edgecombe, right, as a rookie here. He was an early rookie candidate of the year. He may end up being one by when it's all said and done. He's been having an outstanding season himself as well. So Philadelphia, they're kind of feast or famine for me. They're very up and down team. They seem to play better against the better teams, and they seem to play down to their competition. So I'm not sure really what to make of them. I just know there's a lot of inconsistency around them, and that they're a really tough team to try to handicap.
Can they afford a loss tonight, though? I mean, I feel like Embiid is definitely playing.
Well, last I heard, neither one of them were present at shoot around this morning. Paul George and Joel Embiid were not present at shoot around this morning. So what does that mean? That means they're probably leaning more towards questionable rather than probable. But again, it depends on if they play or not. Who do the Sixers have tonight? I'm sorry, I don't have that as one of my key games that I'm covering. But who are they? Who are they? Who are they? The Pacers. Yeah. So you would think, right? The Pacers, right? Talk about a team that's been struggling. I mean, they did go on a little 3-game win streak, but
There's like 10 wins for the season, right?
yeah. I mean, yeah. So and they're without Matherin tonight. They're without a lot of their key players. Obi Toppin, of course, has been out for a while. So, the Pacers are what they are. Without Halliburton, they're just a vastly different team. So, excuse me, you would think that the Sixers, regardless of if Embiid plays or not, they should be able to handle the Pacers, but I just don't trust them. There's just something about the Sixers I can't fully trust. I can't fully commit to them. So honestly, that game, I'll have a play for it. But it'll probably be one of my, lesser confident plays that I'll have for tonight because, Indiana has these moments where they just kind of step up when you least expect it. So,
All right, so here's a question for
so
you. If Embiid
yeah,
is out, right?
yeah.
Sixers are down. Maxey is not having a great night in the first half. Would it be worth it to
Mhm.
sprinkle on his points over, trying to see if they can keep up, or do you think once they're losing the game by half, they're just going to mail it in?
I think because they're at home, right? Because it's MLK Day, right? It's a holiday. It's kind of a matinee, well, not really matinee start time, but an earlier start time
Prime
than
time, people are
usual.
going to be watching.
Prime, sure, right. So I think all those factors. I would say because of that, I would say that they'll probably try to stay in it as long as they can, rather than throw in the towel. So to your point, yeah, if Maxi's kind of struggling in the first half, yeah, I would definitely look at kind of a live over on him to see if he can get get the team going in the second half. Because one thing about him is when he turns it on, there's very few teams and very few players that can really stop him. So he's just one of those guys that when he's got it rolling, he's really got it rolling. So I think with all those metrics, I would probably look towards playing his overs live.
All right, all right. I do have one more question in the NBA before just turning the table over to you to talk about what's going on with the Lakers, man. What's happening?
The Lake Show, right? Hollywood to its finest. There, man. I mean, it's again rinse and repeat, right? And I would say it's more so about LeBron than it is about the Lakers, right? And I know, look, if you're a LeBron supporter, I mean, good for you. I'm not saying, of course, he's one of the greatest players of all time. I'm not sitting here trying to dog him or anything, but uh, look, wherever he goes, there seems to be turmoil, right? There always seems to be some drama. There always seems to be some confliction in the hierarchy, right? Is it LeBron's team? Is it Luca's team? That's what we're asking now, right? Is it JJ Redick's team, which I think he's definitely third on the list here? Who's in charge of this team and what direction are we going to go? And it all depends on who's in charge, right? If LeBron's in charge, then he's going to want obviously probably veterans. He's going to want players who can help him win right now. Whereas if you're looking at it from a long term standpoint, obviously, you need to get younger. As is now, I don't think this Lakers team is very good. I don't think they're very good. I don't think they're going to be competitive, truly competitive now. I know when Austin Reeves comes back, that's going to give him somewhat of a spark. And he did have some good, games over, in November, early December. But is that going to be consistent for me? There's nothing to show me that is. So I can't go off of that personally. And so when you're just looking at the team in general, LeBron and Luca, I mean, look at LeBron. I mean, Father Age is undefeated. I mean, Father Time is undefeated, and LeBron seems to be kind of hitting that wall there. I mean, my God, he's been in the league for over 20 years, so he's just not this player that he was. And Luca, yeah, they're just I guess the way I would summarize the whole thing is there seems to be a lack of leadership on the Lakers. Right, I don't see like anybody who's galvanizing the team, who's kind of bringing the team together and saying, all right, guys, this is the way we're going to play. This is, we're going to give it 100%, 110% every night and things like that. It just seems like they kind of turn it off and turn it on. And the final thing I'll say about the Lakers is DeAndre Ayton. I've been extremely critical of him ever since he's with the Phoenix Suns. Full disclosure, I am a Phoenix Suns fan. At number one pick, we got DeAndre Ayton back in the day. And ever since Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals against Dallas, where he quit on the team, ever since then I've been against him, and he has shown me absolutely nothing to change my mind. I just don't think he has a motor. I don't think he really, I find it hard to kind of psychoanalyze an NBA player as somebody I don't really know, right? But just based on what I see, based on his effort levels, it just seems to me like he doesn't really have a full passion for the game of basketball. Like he's more interested in the attention that basketball gives him rather than the game of basketball. And so when you have someone like that on your team, it's just he just kind of brings the vibes down. He just brings another level of inconsistency to the team and turmoil. And it's just something you don't need. So where do the Lakers go from here? I don't know. Trade deadline's coming up, right? So they absolutely got to make a move. Do they trade LeBron? It sounds crazy, but I think realistically, you could still get some good assets for LeBron. So from a logistical standpoint, it probably would make sense, but they'll never do it, right? They won't trade LeBron. So what do? You're stuck in between a rock and a hard place if you're the Lakers. But that's what happens when you bring in LeBron. So when you bring in LeBron, you give up everything to him, and you sink or swim with LeBron. So right now they're sinking, and we'll see what happens by the trade deadline. Both, you still there?
Yep, sorry, I was on mute.
Oh,
Yeah, I know a lot of people who are saying the same thing about James Harden being the lack of focus and energy into the game that just brings an entire team down. And what you're saying about the Lakers and James, LeBron James, the only scenario that I can see is that he's going to go to be a player coach on another team and give be given the reins of a franchise, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that I can see because the situation in LA can't be good for anybody. Like you're saying, a lack of leadership that you can't win, can't go deep in a postseason without it. But anyway, give us your best bets in the NBA today. There's quite the game all day. We have things going on. Give it to us.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so MLK Day is always a big day for the NBA. They got games, throughout the entire day. We got a tip off here, I think 1 p.m. Eastern. So coming up in about a little over a half hour here, we're gonna have our first game. But real quick before we get into the picks, let me just give you guys a quick rundown of just kind of how we've been doing here over on the VIP channel. Which, by the way, if you guys are interested in more plays, you guys can check out my X profile. That's at PrinceofPix10. There's a pinned post on that profile that has details on how to join the VIP channel. But so far for the VIPs, in the month of January, we are 66 and 55 in our pregame lock. So we're plus 11 in that. We're coming off of a December month where we were plus 17 in that margin. And we're coming off of a November month where we were plus 9. So we've had a profitable month, a winning month every month of the season so far in the NBA. So we'll look to continue that here in the month of January. Starting off here, I'm going to go a little bit out of chronological order, but we're going to start off with the 5 p.m. Eastern tip here, where the Dallas Mavericks are going to be heading to Madison Square Garden, taking on the New York Knicks. We're looking at an injury report here for Dallas. We got quite a list here. Cooper Flag, questionable. Daniel Gafford out, PJ Washington out, D'Angelo Russell out, AD and Derek Lively, of course, are also out for this one. For the Knicks on the other side, we got Brunson, who is questionable, and Josh Hart, who is also questionable. I like the Knicks here in this spot. I think this is a get right spot for the Knicks. I know they've been struggling a little bit as of late, but with all the injuries for Dallas, I just don't see how Dallas keeps this one competitive here. I do expect Brunson, although he's listed as questionable right now. I think this being a holiday game, a game in Madison Square Garden during the day, I think he finds a way to play in this one. And of course, don't forget, this is a revenge spot for him, right? If you think that he forgot that Dallas got rid of him and chose Kyrie Irving over him, he hasn't forgotten that. So I think every time he plays Dallas, he's going to want to go off against them, especially at home on a holiday game here. A side note here, I like Brunson on totals here, on points totals over. If he does play, which I would assume that he does. And so for that reason here, we also got Knicks here, 65% ATS as a home favorite this season. Meanwhile, Dallas, they're just 33% ATS as a road dog. So the metrics are lining up here for the Knicks to win this one rather comfortably. I like the Knicks here, minus 10.5 here. That's at minus 110. Mo, did you have any thoughts on that one before I get to the next one?
No, but that's what I like to hear. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm definitely going
Awesome.
to sprinkle a little bit to begin the game and then try to see because they seem to lose focus somewhere in the second quarter a lot and let the opposing team kind of dominate them. And then they come out and then they just run away with the game. So I'm going to try to sprinkle at the beginning and then kind of sprinkle as the game goes on to see if I can get better pricing because minus 10.5 is it's so large.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. So don't get it twisted. I definitely thought a couple times about it, but I mean, I'm looking at this Dallas team. Like for me, I don't think Dallas is very good when they're fully healthy. But now with all these guys out, I just think with everything that's been going on with the Knicks, I just think this is a really good get right spot where the Knicks kind of make a statement on national TV here, and just really pummel this depleted Dallas team. So I'll lay the 10.5 here, minus 110. Next up, we're going to another 5 p.m. Eastern tip where we have the lowly Utah Jazz heading over down south to take on the San Antonio Spurs. Injury report in this one, Utah, Markkanen out. And also Bryce Sensabaugh is out. Now, if you remember Bryce Sensabaugh, he's coming off a 40-point night a couple nights ago, earlier in the week. So without both of them now, Utah's just going to be in a world of trouble here. San Antonio, Devin Vassell, he's out. But other than that, they should have a pretty clean injury report here for the Spurs. I'm looking at a lot of points in this one. Well, we're looking at the Jazz here defensively. Over their last 10 games, they have given up 138, 144, 137, 129, and 150 points. Okay, so this is a Utah team that is just They're just playing Matador defense. I mean, this is around the time of the year where Danny Ainge, GM of the Jazz, kind of tends to kind of pull the plug on this team, right? Because he knows you that this Utah Jazz organization knows that the only way they're going to get any talent is through the draft, right? I can't think of one single free agent, big name free agent that's ever gone to Utah. It's always either through the draft or through trade. So they know that, and so the only way they're going to get better is by getting a high draft pick, which unfortunately the only way to do that is incentivizing tanking. So until they change the rules, Utah's going to keep doing that. I think they're already in progress of doing that right now. I think you're going to see a lot more sore ankles, bad backs, DNPs due to personal issues. I think you're going to see a lot more of those to a lot of the key players here for Utah going forward. So
When is this
Utah
going to
ultimate.
stop? Sorry, when is this tanking going to stop? When?
Oh yeah, it never. I mean, until 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 I don't know. They get a starting lineup full of first round picks or number one picks. Maybe he's looking for a starting five of all number one picks. I don't know because they do have excuse me, they do have some talent on their team, but they're just like intent on tanking year after year after year. So um and they're not playing any defense, which is the worst part for them. So with all that in mind here, I think the Spurs here are going to roll them. Now, I will tell you the line is about 16 and a half. For me personally, my cap is going to be about minus 15 and a half. I don't take anything over 15 and a half. And if I take 15 and a half, I have to really, really like it. I mean, there has to be some substantial data behind it for me to do that. So 16 and a half, I just won't do it. It just goes against my fundamentals. So I'm not going to lay the points here, but I will take the Spurs team total over 128 and a half. You can get that at minus 115. I think that's a great price here for a very attainable number considering just how bad the Utah Jazz are defensively. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I actually like that play a lot. The over money is on the over. The public is on the under. Something else interesting on this game is 87% is on San Antonio on the money line. 87% is on Utah with the points.
Interesting.
Very
Yeah,
interesting. But I
yeah,
like that team total over. It kind of skirts around that entire
yeah,
issue.
yeah.
And you're right, they don't play defense, so why
Mm-mm.
not just keep rolling with it?
Yep. Just keep playing the trends here. So, all right. Next up, we got. I'm gonna go a little bit out of order here, but we're going backwards in time here. 2:30 p.m. Eastern tip. Probably the marquee game of the day. The Oklahoma City Thunder going over to Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers here. Injury report for this one. For OKC, we got Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein. Both of them are out for this one. We're looking at Cleveland side here. Sam Merrill, Darius Garland, and Max Strus are all going to miss this game today. With that being said, here, I think these are two teams that lay their hat on the defensive side of things. I think their principles, I think their kind of just their MO, it starts with the defense. And again, with these being nationally televised games, I think it does matter that these games aren't a holiday. I do factor that in when I'm kind of capping these games. It does make a difference. And so I think on a matinee holiday game here, primetime game between two of the preseason title contenders. They only see each other twice a year, so they don't have many opportunities to make statements. I think both of these teams are going to want to make a statement. But looking at the total here, 231 and a half for two teams that are defensive orientated. I just think that's a little bit too many points, especially with the injuries on Cleveland side of things, and of course Jalen Williams and Hartenstein being out as well. You're going to lose a little bit offensively, not much, but a little bit, but more so on the Cleveland side of things. But again, I just think this is a spot where you're going to see two teams just really kind of grinding it out with each other here. I think that you're going to see just a lot of rustle and tussle down low, and I think you're going to find it hard to come by points here. So 231, that's just too much for me for this kind of a game. So I'm going to take the under here on the game total, 231 and a half, minus 112. Anything for you on this?
No, I think that's a very sharp play. It looks like the public and the sharps are both on you. Public is on it 69% of the time. 69% of the betting tickets are on the under. 73.5% of the money is on the under. 4% edge. It's a great play.
Awesome. Great. All right. And then finally for me here, we're gonna go to a 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Where the Phoenix Suns are going to be heading up north, taking on the Brooklyn Nets here. Injury report for this one. For Phoenix, we got Booker and Jalen Green. Both are questionable, so Jalen Green could be making his comeback tonight, but he is listed as questionable. And then for Brooklyn side, they haven't submitted it yet, so we're not sure who's on their injury report just as of yet. When I'm looking at this one, I'm looking at a low scoring game in this one as well. Both teams here, they are bottom 8 in pace of play. So neither team really likes to run up and down the court. They both far prefer to play in the half court. And when you're looking at, Book and Green both being questionable, that's a lot of points that you're going to be missing from Phoenix should they not play. And then you're also looking at Brooklyn side offensively here. They're the lowest scoring team in the entire NBA right now, are the Brooklyn Nets. And the Suns, on the other side, they come in with the fifth ranked defense in the NBA. So I think a lot of things are lining up here for a low scoring team. I was leaning a little bit towards taking Brooklyn's team total under, but it was just a little bit too low for me. I just didn't really feel comfortable with it. But I will definitely be on the under for the full game here. It's at 216 and a half. It was at 218 and a half last night. So it has dropped a little bit, but it's still playable for me. Do I think both teams get to 108 in this one? I don't. And so with that in mind, I think, getting under 216 and a half is a pretty attainable play here, considering both teams defensively. Jordy Fernandez, by the way, shout out to him, Brooklyn Nets head coach. He's really got these guys playing hard defensively. And we look at the Brooklyn Nets here. To me, they've kind of overachieved, and I know that's a funny thing to say when you're 12 and 27 to say a team is overachieved. But I mean, you look at this roster and you look at the way they started out this season. They're competing every night now. I mean, they are no longer an auto fade. This is a team that maybe they don't have the talent, but they're trying. I mean, they're really competing hard, especially on the defensive side. And so Suns I think are 8.5 point favorites right now. Just a little bit too much for me in Brooklyn against a team that fights till the very last whistle. So I'm gonna stay away from that. But yeah, shout out to Jordy Fernandez and the Brooklyn Nets for kind of turning around their season, at least from a morale standpoint. But yeah, I'm definitely on the under here. Under 216 and a half, minus 112. Anything for you? You're on mute.
Gonna have to learn how to use these spaces more appropriately. But I like that play. Looks like the sharp money is all on Phoenix on the spread on the money. This is going to be a good game. Definitely going to look to take advantage. We have Z Quishy, who just joined us. He is a residential NHL expert. Going to try to bring him on to give us a pick. Let's recap your NBA picks while I figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So to recap here, we're taking the New York Knicks minus 10 and a half. That's at minus 110. We're also going to take the San Antonio Spurs team total over 128 and a half. You can get that around minus 115. We will be taking the Oklahoma City Thunder Cleveland Cavaliers game total under 231 and a half. You get that around minus 112. And then we will also be taking the Phoenix Suns and the Brooklyn Nets under 216 and a half, also at minus 112.
Very nice. And just to recap on my own picks here, Indiana money line and total for the full game over 42.5 minus 125 over on MGM. And Indiana first half money line parlay with the full game money line minus 149 with the 30% boost. It looks like we lost Zquishy here, but I can actually pull up this play that he wanted to give us. He is absolutely excellent. Highly recommend following him. He has the Panthers 60-minute money line minus 115. Looks like Florida's the play. I don't have the full analysis in front of me.
Okay, we'll go with it.
I do have a question for you.
Yep.
In the EPL today, 3 p.m., we have a game, Brighton, Bournemouth, right? I was kind of looking at Brighton team total over 1.5. Got any thoughts on it?
It's funny you say that. Have you been stealing my notes? Because that's exactly the play that I have posted in our VIP channel. So there you go, guys. Free VIP play brought to you by Stern Bets. It's exactly the play that I'm on tonight. I love Bournemouth over 1.5. I mean, sorry, Brighton over 1.5 here. Bournemouth, they're pretty woeful on the road. They concede a lot of goals on the road, but I'm a little worried to take Brighton on the money line here, just because Brighton has been a little bit inconsistent recently. Bournemouth does have tendencies to kind of step up on the road and score some goals. So I'm a little iffy on how the game is going to go, but I'm pretty confident that Brighton can get 2 goals in this one at home against a Bournemouth side that just concede pretty regularly on the road. So yeah, I'm all over Brighton Brighton team total over 1.5. You know
Fantastic.
what I
It's a
mean?
little juicy, but it's
Yes, a little juicy, but I think it's worth it considering the trends and just the way things are kind of panning out for both teams right now, in the direction that they're going. So I'm willing to pay the juice on that one.
alrighty then. We do have some other sports to cover. We are hopefully going to bring in other analysts as we grow to try to cover them. Right? We had Venus Williams, the oldest player to play in an open. Right? She did lose in an, I mean, just an incredible fashion. She was up huge, and then just fatigue took over her body. But she said she's not done. So we're going to see how that plays out. Novak is going to be playing again. Chris got her up. Congratulations for winning the PGA Tour, the tournament this past weekend, the Sunny Open. I had Harry Hall. A little disappointed that didn't come through. He did nothing yesterday, which destroyed my DFS and my picks. But you know what? Great day altogether. We have a great week of sports ahead of us, and I'm excited to get into it. Do you have any closing thoughts or something to look out for today, next week, or the games tonight?
No, absolutely. To your point, I think this is a great time to be a sports investor. I mean, we're kind of getting into the prime time of sports here, just in general, right? We're in the thick of it here in the NBA. NHL is in full swing, right? You got for soccer fans here, you got the MLS coming up. We got World Cup qualifiers in Europe are going to be starting up in March. For the final spots in the World Cup, and then the World Cup, of course, coming in June. We got the Winter Olympics here coming up in a little over a month, so we'll try to see if we can find some angles on that. Of course, golf is going to start being in full swing here, the PGA, and then your wheelhouse, Stern, where we got baseball, college baseball. Those are going to be coming up here in a couple months, so this is a really good time to start investing in sports, because I think we're really kind of turning the bend here, and we got a lot of good stuff coming up on the horizon. So I'm excited to get into it. Ready to get into the college football game tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, man. Hopefully we can do this again very soon. And get these picks out to you guys, and let's get some winners. Let's cash out some tickets
Yeah, it looks like Drew wants to speak. I'm going to bring him on. I
for
didn't
sure.
plan on it, but why not? Hey, Drew,
Absolutely.
what's going on? How you doing? Just take yourself off mute, and I think you should be good to go.
Hey guys, I've been like looking around for like course sports spaces on spaces. I'm a big fan of sports in general. I do a lot of college basketball and baseball betting. Baseball made a lot of money off doing player outs. I was fiddling around as a Giants fan with like baseball plays, and I was like, you know what, I'm really good at this player out stuff. So I did that. And overall, I love around this season college baseball and listening to people about tennis. I'm in college basketball, so yeah.
What you got for us today? Got anything for us today?
Yeah, so one that's coming up in about I think 22 minutes. I do a lot of research on college basketball and even the mid-major ones. Um, I sometimes will do double ups if I don't like want to do necessarily the spread. I like Towson and UMBC a double up. It's like minus 116. I think Towson is just their home. They're just a better team than Drexel. Drexel, the only thing they rely on is shooting threes. Personally, and they shoot decent at it, but at the end of the day, Towson has the big rebounding advantage. They have a really good defense, and usually when you're home in mid majors, they win 60% of the time. And Towson's just bigger all around, 100%. And I think this is I just saw Towson beat Charleston as underdogs last time, and when Charleston couldn't hit threes, they just dominated them. And then UMBC, they're not getting as much slack because they lost to Bryant, but they're facing Binghamton, who is generally they're ranked in the bottom 350 for offense and defense. And UMBC, even though they're away, they need a bounce back win, and they're just a much better shooting team overall. So I like that lay right there.
Nice. Yeah, thank you so much. Nice, clear, concise. Definitely also shout out your details so we can follow you and repost or comment on this space, and then we can all follow you as well. But you got any thoughts on the Yale game coming up at 2?
Oh, you're talking about the Yale game?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. The Yale, personally, I think Yale should beat. Honestly, I think Yale should beat Columbia. The thing that scares me with these Ivy League games is they're either complete blowouts or they're close games. So 8.5 isn't bad. Yale reasonably, when I like ran it through my AI I use, they should win by like 10 to 15 points. So. It's just honestly for that game. I don't know if I would necessarily touch the Yale spread, but I do. The other game I like a lot is George Mason over George Washington. I still think George Mason is not getting the full respect they deserve. They're a really good team, and it's because they're 17-1, but they don't have the strength of schedule George Washington has. But I think them at -155 is not a bad money line to take, or -1.5. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Yep, I'm definitely going to be taking a look at it, and I think I might just take Yale in a parlay with Indiana tonight. I am all over Indiana.
Yeah, I love Yale's money line for a lay, any kind of lay. I think they win, but I don't know if it's by 6 or 15.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, Prince of Picks. Drew, let's recap our picks real quick. We're going to get out of here unless anybody else wants to come up. You're more than welcome. We only planned for 15 minutes, but you know what? You guys are awesome, and we're having fun. So let's keep it rolling. Prince of Picks.
Yeah, absolutely. The more the better. By the way, guys, any of you guys want to chime in and give your plays, by all means, please go ahead and request, and we'll definitely take your picks here. But yeah, to recap mine here real quick, in the NBA tonight. Again, quick because we got a couple of new listeners here. Just to recap, kind of where we're at in terms of our NBA picks over on the VIP channel. We are plus 11 so far for the month of January. We're 66 and 55 for our pregame locks. In the month of January for the NBA. We're coming off of a plus 17 win weight in December and a plus 9 win margin in November. So we've had a profitable month all 3 months so far of the NBA season. That's omitting October because there's only a couple of weeks in October for the season, so that's not a full month. So we're doing pretty good on our pregame locks. And to recap the locks for tonight, I got the Knicks here minus 10.5. That's at minus 110. We're going to take the San Antonio Spurs here team total over 128.5. That's around minus 115. We're going to take the OKC Thunder Cleveland Cavaliers game total under 231.5. And then we got the Phoenix Suns and the Brooklyn Nets game total under 216.5. And again, if you guys are interested in more NBA plays, you guys can check out my X profile. That's at Prince of Picks 10. There's a pinned post on my profile where you can find out information about joining the VIP channel.
Absolutely excellent. Can't wait to be doing this with you, hopefully for the foreseeable future. Z Quishy, also our NHL residential expert. He gives out the Panthers 60-minute money line minus 115. For myself, I am all over Indiana. I have them parlayed the money line with the full game total over 42.5 at minus 125. I also took a boost on DK at 30%, taking the Indiana first half money line parlayed with the full game money line. And in the NFL, I took the Patriots minus 4.5 on the alt line, minus 122 over at FanDuel. And then I took a teaser Patriots minus 2.5 and Seahawks plus 7.5 at minus 132. I took this at DK. I think you can still get the same number on FanDuel, but I think these are solid looks. I do not see the Broncos being able to compete with. I just don't. This haven't
No.
thrown a pass since 2023. Their defense let up points, and I think the only reason why they won the game against the Bills was the Bills just ran out of gas going into Mile High City.
Yep.
In overtime. They were the better team. Josh Allen was defeated. Did you see him crying in the conference?
That was hard to watch.
That
That
was
was
so
hard to
hard to
see.
watch.
Yeah, that was hard to
So
watch.
hard.
I really feel for him. I mean, you know the amount of pressure that he's under, right? I mean, especially this year, right? With no Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson, right? All of his, top villains, if you will, were not there. And so all he had to get through was Drake May, now Jared Stidham or Bo Nix at the time, and potentially C.J. Stroud. That's what was lined up for him, man. They couldn't get it done, but it's not because of him. I mean, he did everything he could. I mean, that guy he's been carrying this team all year. But it just they ran into a buzzsaw defensively in Denver. And it's unfortunate for him, but I hopefully he's able to rebound from that, and I hope he wins one with the Bills. Bills seem to be cursed, and I just hope he wins one. And kind of right some wrongs here for Buffalo. But yeah, that was really hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
Still don't understand how that was an interception.
Yeah, man, don't get me started on that.
I
And we
lost.
saw the same scenario with Devontae Adams yesterday.
Yeah.
Karma
Yeah, exactly.
goes around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I lost so much money on that one interception. My DFS lineups all suffered. All I needed for him was to get 5 more yards, and the day would have been completely flipped. But Drew, hit us, close us off with your picks again.
Oh yeah, definitely. Something I will say with college basketball, I do research off Ken Palm, which is my favorite research to do off of. And of course, I'm sorry if of course they don't hit, but there's always like in college basketball, these are kids. There's always anomalies that happen where a team shoots better than they should. So uh I would say UMBC paired with Towson moneyline. The Towson starts in 15 minutes. UMB starts in an hour and 15 minutes. I like to hedge too if the hedge is like plus 1,000 because college lines, basketball lines, guys move the most. Like Wichita State was plus 1,800 the other day. I think it was yesterday, and they came back and won. So be look out for hedges and stuff like that. They're very important. And then I do like George Mason minus 1.5, but I'm waiting because I think George Washington will gain steam. And I did the same thing you did, Stern. I used my DK boost on the halftime, full time for Indiana. I've been riding Indiana all year, and they're just a juggernaut. They're robotic, like they're unstoppable, man. Like the fact that your quarterback has more touchdowns than interceptions is absolutely insane. And I rode Miami too, but I think Indiana is different. And then I think that's pretty much all I have for today. I don't want to do too much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I just got tired of fading Indiana, so I'm deciding to take the money this time. I've been riding it. Oh, and one last bonus play. We have Brighton team total over 1.5. That's going off at 3 p.m. If that's it, look me up. Stern Bets, one word. Google. I have daily articles during baseball season, bi-weekly articles during the NFL season. Looking forward to having an incredible year together with Prince of Picks. We're starting a podcast together. I could not get it off in time, so we're working it. Everybody here, please feel free, tag your name. We can all follow you. And let's have a great day.
Take care, guys. Thanks for joining us.